Hello, my name is Jesse Underdeer, and welcome to another episode of A Breath of Fresh Sports. We will be recapping some of the games from Week 11 in the NFL. Colts beating the Packers, Ravens losing, and Tom Brady's Bush League antics. So stay tuned to listen to more. Alright everybody, so let's get this thing started. So, a lot of things happened this week in football. Personally, I think it was an amazing week for some good fashion NFL football. I mean, one of the best games, I think, was obviously the game of the week between the Indianapolis Colts and the Green Bay Packers. Now, if you listened to my episode last week, I said the Colts were going to beat the Packers 20-17. I mean, I was right that the Colts were going to win, but boy, was I wrong on the score. That score finished to 34-31, Colts winning. And it's time we start putting some respect on the Indianapolis Colts name. They have beaten two playoff contending teams the past 2 weeks, with that being the Tennessee Titans and the Green Bay Packers. You would have thought, if you watched this game, that Green Bay had it in the bag. I mean, that first half, they scored 28 points. Aaron Rodgers could do anything he wanted. He threw that ball all over the field. Indianapolis Colts defense had no answer. And if you would have turned it off right then, right after the first half, you would have been like, okay, this game's over. I'm going to find something else. But little did you know, this Colts defense is elite. I've kept saying it. I'm going to say it again. This Colts defense is elite. They come out in the second half, and Green Bay Packers score 3 points the whole second half. And those 3 points they scored was to tie the game up at 31-31. They could do no wrong that second half. Indianapolis Colts offense was clicking. Phillip Rivers was finding his targets. Michael Pittman got his first touchdown. The defense was coming up big with a fumble on special teams. And then we all know about that. Oh, man, that crucial fumble there at the end when the Green Bay Packers had it in the beginning of overtime. And within 48 seconds of overtime, fumbled the ball. And you know what happened after that? Indianapolis Colts ran, I think, 3 run plays. And then out come Rodrigo Blankenship, the kicker for the Indianapolis Colts. Man, respect the specs, man. I'm telling you, man. He was 4 from 5 for field goals that day. He missed a 50-yarder, but I mean, it was right. It was accurate. It was right there, but it just hit the bottom bar, bounced out. No big deal. He comes in, hits the game winner for the Colts. What a game, though. What a game it was. I'm really happy for the Colts, sitting at 7-3. Packers fall to 7-3. Even though the Packers lost, I mean, they're going to win their division, no doubt. They're probably going to go 13-3. But this game did show a lot of weaknesses for the Green Bay Packers that many people haven't seen yet this season. Proved that Aaron Rodgers is human. I mean, the Colts did manage to pick off Aaron Rodgers this game, which is something not a lot of teams say they can do. But all in all, that was a great game. Looking forward to seeing more of the Green Bay Packers, more of the Colts. But I'm just saying, let's start putting some respect on the Colts name. You know, I think they moved up 8 spots in the power rankings on some of the articles I'm looking at. I think on CBS Sports, they moved up 8 spots. They're number 4. And everybody else has them in the top 10 right now. So they're making moves. They're making moves. Another game that I really liked was the Baltimore Ravens and the Tennessee Titans. Now, I thought the Baltimore Ravens were going to, get back on track, get back to, their normal Baltimore ways, what we saw last year, just explosiveness. But, I mean, they did do that, I will say. If you would have watched this game early on, you would have thought, okay, Ravens have this in the bag. But same with the Green Bay game. Beginning of it, it looked like it favored the Green Bay. Beginning of this game, it was favoring Baltimore. But I'm telling you, good old Derrick Henry, he can do a lot. And he is the main reason the Tennessee Titans have won that game. And the main reason, I think, why the Titans are doing so well this season. Because I tell you, you put the game in Ryan Tannehill's hands. I mean, I don't think, That's the only way you can beat them, by making Ryan Tannehill beat you. Because Derrick Henry, you want Derrick Henry to beat you, he'll beat you. He'll beat you bad. But Tennessee Titans came out with the win. Baltimore Ravens, it's not looking too good for them. Because not only have they lost 2 in a row, Thanksgiving they played undefeated Pittsburgh Steelers. And right now they're at 6-4. And with a loss to the Steelers, they could potentially go 6-5. So, not looking good for Baltimore. I mean, comparing to what we saw last year to this year, completely two different teams. I think everyone has figured them out, figured out how they play. You know, it's not like it was last year, which it was when it was like brand new. No one ever seen a quarterback move like that before. Now, I mean, we pretty much know what we're going to do, what they're going to do the whole time. I mean, they still win games, but they're becoming very predictable. Now, with both the Titans and the Colts winning those games, it sets up another potential game of the week matchup next week when the two teams face off again. I think we're going to look at much of the same from what we saw last time when these teams played. The Colts took the dub in that game. I think it was 41 to something. I can't remember. But yeah, I think the Colts are going to come away with another win and sweeping the series with that team. Titans and Colts, man, Colts are the Titans' kryptonite. I mean, for real, we've seen it throughout the whole decade. Like Peyton Manning, Andrew Luck. I mean, I know they had a little time where they were beating us for a little bit when Brissett was there, but the Colts, for the most part, have owned the Titans for a while. And look for that to happen next week when the Colts face the Titans. Colts will probably move to 8-3, Titans 7-4. And now you're about to hear me complain a little bit. So, Tom Brady lost to the LA Rams. What is today? Today is Tuesday. He lost to the LA Rams yesterday. So, you know, it was a close game throughout, and very big ending parts of the game. Tom Brady throws an interception. Another thing happened. LA Rams win 27-24. So what do you do when the game's over? You know, everybody usually walks to the field, shake hands, hey, congratulations, blah, blah, blah. This is what Tom Brady did. Jared Goff walked to the middle of the field looking for the other quarterback, you know, to shake his hand. You know, good game, blah, 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 respect your game, all that nonsense. And Tom Brady was nowhere to be found. Where was he, you ask? On his way back to the locker room. This is the second time this season that he's done that. When he did it to Nick Foles, it was looked at as very Bush League because, you know, Nick Foles beat him in the Super Bowl, blah, blah, blah. And then he does it to Jared Goff. He beat him in the Super Bowl. So I don't know what his issue is. He is becoming very, very salty. And it does not look good for Tom Brady. Because Tom Brady, you know, is the face of the league. Or at least he was for a while. And when you have like a top caliber quarterback like that, throwing tantrums and like walking away, not wanting to be a good sport, which, I mean, I'm not going to sit here and say everyone should be good sports. You know, it's football. They're grown men. It is what it is. But we have someone like Tom Brady who just walks away. It doesn't look good. And I get it. Losing is not fun. Losing is not something you want to do. Losing is not something everyone is comfortable with. But, Tom, imagine your whole career, okay? Imagine all those quarterbacks that you beat. How did they feel when you beat them? They still came and shook your hand, though, I bet, right? Every single one of them. And you did that your whole career. Now that you're on the other receiving end of these losses, you can't handle it. Look, I'm sorry you're not on the Patriots anymore, and you're not dominating the league like you were doing for 10 years. I mean, listen, you're going to have a couple losses now. That's just the way it is. And what you need to do is act like the role model quarterback that you are, and people say that you are, and go out there and shake the man's hand. Congratulate him on beating you. Because for some quarterbacks, for them to beat you, that's like an accomplishment for them. That's like a milestone in their career. Oh, I want to beat Tom Brady. That's what I want to do. I want to beat Tom Brady. So beating you was something that these guys look at as something amazing. And when you don't go out there and shake their hand and say, hey, I respect your game. Good job. You beat me. You got me. It just makes you look bad, man. I'm just saying. Other people may not think so, but I think it makes you just look bad. And if the Bucs make it to the playoff, if the Tampa Bay Buccaneers make it to the playoffs, I guarantee you he'll do the same thing there if he loses. Guarantee it. No doubt. But hopefully I'm wrong. I think Tom Brady needs to answer for this because this is the second time it happened. It's immature, it's salty, it's Bush League. You know, we don't need that in the game. Just shake the man's hand and move on. But anyway, that's all I have for today, guys. Thank you so much for listening to a Breath of Fresh Sports podcast. I really do appreciate you guys listening. I work hard on these podcasts all the time. If you can, go to Apple Podcasts, go to Spotify, go to anchor.fm, type in a Breath of Fresh Sports. You'll find me there. Go on Instagram, a Breath of Fresh Sports. I'm also there. And I'm also on Facebook, a Breath of Fresh Sports. So type it in there. You can find me anywhere. Go on there, listen to some of my old podcast episodes, and let me know what you guys think about this one. We'll see you guys next week. Thank you for listening, and happy Thanksgiving.